don't go live from the gym. I did that in the first couple of weeks that I was going live every single week a day. But today is sort of special. Why? Why is today special? Because we're getting back to the basics. Normally I'm by the pool or I'm by the patio, but today we are live in the gym. And so the reason I wanted to get back into the gym to actually talk to you guys, because I've been in the gym for the last maybe 90 minutes. I've been doing a couple of things, but I also wanted to talk to you guys about something that's very important, at least to me, which is how to actually increase your net worth. There's nobody here in the gym, so it's actually quite cool. Normally, there are maybe two or three people, but the last person stepped out, so here we are live. And I want to tell you, give you some pointers on how to get to $1 million net worth if you're in the gym, if you're in the US. And so I'm going to set you up right here. I'm on the tricep pull down machine, but I'm also going to be talking to you guys about how to get to $1 million net worth. Okay. So the first thing, $1 million net worth is that you have to have the mindset that it's not so hard. I'm going to give you practical steps, but it's important that you understand it first. $1 million net worth is not hard in the US. Why is it not hard in the US? Because in the US is the only place in the world that you can have access to credit so easily. 18-year-olds are offered credit cards, 10, 20, $30,000 right out of college at 18 years old. Now, are credit cards how you're going to get to a net worth of a lot? Not necessarily. That's not the direct path, but it's a part of it. And I'll tell you why. Because in the US, a credit score is the tool that can get you to $1 million net worth by 25 if you are 18, by 22 if you wanted to. And I'll tell you how right now. Okay. So $1 million net worth, we have to understand $1 million cost us. I want you to get this in your head. I'm gonna repeat this. I'm gonna repeat this because this is good. $1 million net worth, $1 million of real estate only costs. This is so good. $1 million net worth of real estate only costs $50,000. I just dropped that. I just said that. That's crazy. $1 million net worth of real estate only costs $50,000. All right, hold up. I'm gonna let that pause for a sec. You guys keep populating in the chat. Tell me where you're watching from. We're gonna keep talking about this. I'm gonna do another set because I've been here for the last 90 minutes, as I said, and also every time that you guys comment and subscribe, we get to send more kids to Jamaica. As I said, I've been retired for the last 2 years. I've been traveling. I've been going live every weekday, so we've been talking a lot and developing a relationship. And one of the things that I do is that I send two kids from Jamaica to college every year. And so then every time that you guys subscribe, we get to send more people from Jamaica to college. So right now we have two. I'm funding that out of my own pockets. And every time that you guys subscribe, you guys bring us one step closer to actually sending more people from Jamaica to college. I don't need your money, but those kids do. So that's why we're building this community and going live. That's why you should subscribe. Okay, I'm going to do my set. By the way, before, what did I say? $1 million of real estate only cost how much? All right, I'm gonna do my set. I'm gonna do my set. How's my form? Two, three, four, six, seven, eight, nine. What are you doing? All right, we're not alone anymore. Been joined in. All right, so as I was saying, hey, bro. Hey, I'm live. If you don't mind, it's fine. But I am live on on YouTube. If you don't mind, it's fine. Okay, good. So we're talking about. Okay, so $1 million of real estate only costs 40. I just did my set so now I can talk to you guys. $1 million of real estate only costs 40 to $50,000. Let me explain. So This actually happened in 2024, 2023, I think it was. End of 2023. Here's what the government did. The government said, we want more people to buy homes. So we are going to lower the requirement from 10% down payment to 5%. 5%. And not only are we going to do that, you don't have to go and buy one house. You can go and you can buy 4 units in one deal, and you don't have to put down 10 or 20%. You can put down 5%, which means that if you want $1 million worth of real estate, you can now put down 5%. And 5% of $1 million is how much? $50,000, which means that you can find one deal. And I'm going to show you how to do this step by step. You can find one deal and become a millionaire. Think about that. One deal. I'm going to show you how to find the deal. I'm going to show you how it works. By the end of this, you'll know how you can do this from anywhere in the US, okay? All right, so you're going to go onto Zillow. And you're going to watch this replay back so that you can actually have the information, so you can actually study. You're going to go onto Zillow. You're going to look for multifamily. Remember, you're looking for 2, 3, or 4 units from one deal. From one deal. Okay? 2, 3, or 4 units from one deal. Why are you looking for 3, 4 units from one deal? Because I'm going to work out the math. Remember, they told you that you can buy 1, 2, or 3. So you're not going to buy 1, 2, 3, or 4. So you're not going to buy 1 unit. That would be a waste. You're going to hit and buy 4 at the same time. Why do I say you're buying 4? Because if you buy 4, then you can live in 1 unit and rent out the other 3. 1, 2, 3 are going to make you money, and you're going to live in 1. What do most people do? They go ahead and they buy their dream house, or they buy the biggest house possible. They're buying their single family house. Why? That's stupid. Now, how do you pay for this house that you're living in? With your time, with your own money, with your job. So now you are working for the bank. That's not what we're going to do. You're going to go into Zillow. You're going to find a fourplex that costs. See that comment there? Appreciate you. Appreciate you. You're going to find a fourplex in the southern region, in Florida, in Georgia, in Tennessee, and you should write those down. Georgia, Florida, Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina. Where else? Arizona, Texas. These are where these deals are happening. You're going to find these deals, fourplex for $1 million, threeplex for $1 million. Remember, you're looking for one deal. 900,000, 1.2, anywhere around that, you're looking for $1 million deal that has 4 units. These are all across America. Because what you're not going to be doing is looking in one state. You're going to look across the entire United States for this one deal. Why? Because you're buying 4 units and you're going to move into one and rent the other 3. There are some stipulations. You must live in one of those units for 1 year. You must live there for 1 year. Okay? So it has to be your primary residence for you to do this. Is that hard? No. Why? Because you can move your job. You're going to let your job that pays you $40,000 a year stop you from getting $1 million net worth? No. And by the way, you might be thinking, how do I come up with that $50,000? I'm going to answer that in a second. Because I'll tell you how I did it. This is not going to happen overnight, but I will tell you how I did it. Okay? But you can move. You can find a remote job and you can show them that you can move so that when you actually move, boom, you close the deal, move, 1 unit, living in, 3 units, making you money. These 3 units are covering the cost of the mortgage. Covering the cost of the mortgage. All right, you know what? I'm gonna do my third set. My third set. If you guys appreciate this so far, please put some love in the chat. And also, make sure that you guys subscribe. Remember why we're doing this. All right, this is my third set. Oof. Sorry. All right. Continuing. So back to what we were talking about. So if you are looking at Zillow, you're finding the 4 units. Here is the math. You find $1 million property. Let's say the mortgage is $5,000. So does that sound like a lot? Yeah, it sounds like a lot if you were renting it by yourself. But it's $5,000 for 4 units. So here's what you do. The first unit, $2,000. Second unit, another $2,000. Third unit, $2,000. You're paying for all 3 units and you're living in one. So then the 3 units that you're not living in are now covering your mortgage and your utilities. And which essentially means that what happens to you? You are living for free. Now, you can adjust the numbers, make sure the numbers work. But think about that. Am I live? Of course I'm live. What's your name? Who is that? Cornelio? There you go. I was actually just working out just now. So here I am. Boom. As I said, we're talking about how to actually get $1 million net worth if you're in the US. If you're just joining us, understand that this law was actually not possible 15 years ago. This just started in the last 5 years. Last 5 years, the US government was like, you know what? We want people to get to $1 million faster, but we're not going to tell everybody. We're just going to tell the investors. So then they went to the investors and said, if you have $50,000, we'll give you $1 million worth of property. That's what they said. Give us 50 and we'll give you 1 million. How many people know that? You give us 50 and we'll give you 1 million. And as long as you make the numbers work, we'll give you 4 units that you can live for free, not pay taxes, because now you're a real estate investor. Now you're providing housing to people and you can live for free. Increase your family's net worth, pass down something to your children. Yeah, that's crazy. Exactly. So buy Bitcoin. Ah, here's the thing about Bitcoin. The government didn't say if you give us $50,000 in Bitcoin, we'll give you $1 million of anything. Now, Bitcoin can increase from 50 to 100 grand, but the government said we'll take your 50 and we'll give you 1 million. No, I don't know about you, but 1 million sounds like more than 50. 1 million sounds like more than 100. So you do the math yourself. Now, how would you get to your first 50? How you actually save up that 50? Okay, this is the last thing I'm gonna tell you because I'm gonna get back to my workout. How you actually save up the 50? One, you need a job. You need income. Now, that's a simple answer. Okay. But most people will just go to their 9 to 5 and that's it. So then let's say you're earning $4,000, $5,000 a month from your 9 to 5. Okay, cool. What you're going to do is that you're going to pick up a skill that you can do in the evenings and on the weekends. A couple of skills that I like. Learn to be a barber. Learn to be a photographer. Learn to edit video. Learn to set up websites, social media marketing. Okay. All these skills work. Be a videographer. Go to weddings, right? If you're a lady, do nail salons, do hair, makeup. Now you're taking that extra money that you can do on the weekends and in the evenings. So you're earning $50,000 a year from your job. That is what you live on. Everything that you earn from that skill on the weekends and in the afternoons, you're saving 100% of that. So that's another 40, 50 a year. No, that means in 2 years or less, you can have the deposit for the $1 million of real estate that you're going to buy. 2 years. That's literally 12 to 18 months, 12 to 24 months of just grinding. Would you do that for $1 million of real estate? All right. You know what? I'm gonna have to end this live because I don't think you hear me. I'm also no longer alone in the gym. You hear me, fam? You hear me? All right. I just gave you all the play. Now you guys need to actually study the play. I showed you where to get them from. You're going to go on to Zillow, look for multifamilies, looking for deals that are $1 million or close to $1 million that give you 4 units in one property. And then I showed you how to actually save it up. And what do you know what? Actually, let's talk about this. What do you need for your credit score? All right, I'm gonna do another set. I'm gonna do another set and then come back to y'all. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna save those last 5 minutes. I'm gonna save those last 5 minutes. Oh, we gonna publish that. All right, calm me down. 10. Boom. All right, that was 10. How much can you bench? I have no idea. All right, credit score. This is the last thing. This is the last thing that we're gonna talk about. When it comes to credit score, this is actually how you set up your credit score so that when you go to the bank, damn, I feel like I'm giving away too much game. It's fine. It's fine. This is what we're about. This is why we go live. Okay. When you go to the bank, this is what your credit score needs to look like. First of all, if you're not at a 720, don't go to the bank. Here is how you get a 720. One, your credit utilization needs to be less than 10%. The sweet spot is between 1 and 4%. I don't know how to do that, Void, but maybe one day I'll figure it out. I'm new to this. Between 1 and 4%, that's what your utilization needs to be at. Don't have more than 2 inquiries in the last 2 years. No more than 2 inquiries. Your payment history, 100%, obviously. That's not sorted, then you can send me an email, we can get you right. But make sure that your payment history is 100%. No missed payments. Your length of credit history needs to be at least 5 years. No, if you don't have that, there's ways to get around that. You can get someone added onto your credit by authorized usual, or you can pay for a trade line. Is that worth it to get to $1 million of real estate? Yeah, you'd probably pay someone maybe two, three, $400 to get onto their credit card. That would give you a credit score boost that you could actually get that house to get that property. One D, $1 million. That's what you're looking at. If you go to the credit score, if you go to the bank with this credit score, this credit profile, you will more than likely get through on this property. You'll get pre-approved, you get good rates, and then obviously make sure that you have no derogatory remarks, no bankruptcies, obviously, right? And then also the total number of accounts. If you only have 2 credit cards in your name, that's not enough. You maybe want to have 4 or 5 credit cards. If you have a student loan, that's good. Have something like a utility in your name, something you can increase your trade lines. I have maybe 10 credit cards in my credit profile, right? Why? I'm not using all of them. They're just sitting there because my credit utilization is like 3, 4%. I don't use my credit cards. I just use them for the credit profile. You understand? Don't get credit cards to get into debt. Get them to build money. Get them to build assets. Get them to build real estate. Yeah, this is a lot of free game I'm giving to you guys. I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna save this live so that we can publish it after because it's actually really good. Thank you guys for your energy, but I'm gonna let you guys go because I'm gonna finish this workout and get the heck out of here. I'm going shopping. All right, peace out.